All right, now that we have a home that our buyer is interested in, I've already called the listing agent to see what they're looking for. I have already pulled really hard comps to make sure I'm really comfortable on the value. I have texted my buyer clients what I think their offer should be, and we've walked through that whole conversation to see if they want to make any tweaks or changes. Now that they've verbally confirmed the offer in text message so that I have it in writing, now I will invest the time and write the offer, okay? This is going to be particular to Southeast Michigan agents. EXP is probably really similar for you, so I figured I'd make a video. I mean, all EXP agents are required to do the same documents, the same basic documents, like seller's disclosure, lead-based paint, exclusive buyer agency, disclosure regarding agency and a purchase agreement. So, obviously just know I'm in Michigan. This may be slightly different for you, but it should be a big help for pretty much everybody, okay? So I'm going to get into Remind Pro here. That's where we do our docs. Whoa, sorry, hit transaction. Click the wrong Remind button. Okay, this is a sale. I'm on the buying side. I always name the transaction, the address, do whatever you want. For the buyer name, let's do Joe Schmo. Okay, I'm adding Joe. I'm going to write whatever. We'll just write my email. I'm not actually going to send it out anyways, but here's my email. I'm going to make sure that this, for those agents utilizing the same exact software as me, I'm just going to make sure this buyer has an email right off the bat, and that the buyer is added here so that his name or her name, whoever's name, their name, pre-populates wherever it should be. Remember, if you use the same software as me, I've already advised you that you should be making packages in Remind. If you haven't done this previously, that's okay. If you utilize Remind, just log into Remind Docs, go to Package Library, and create them with whatever docs your brokerage requires. I've already done this to make my life easier, so I'm going to click the buyer packet, which I created, and I updated it, this time last year. I'm going to click the documents that I need. We're not going to be giving occupancy. This is new construction. This is not a condo. My buyer is not FHA or VA. And I'm not requesting an additional home warranty because it's new construction and I'm going to get a home warranty automatically from the builder, okay? Acknowledgement and release. This is a great document. If you were waiving inspection, giving non-refundable EMD, waiving or giving appraisal coverage, like appraisal coverage or guarantee, this basically just states that the buyer understands what they're doing and they're not going to hold you liable. These are my basic documents, which I need for every purchase here at EXP. So make sure they're added. Let's go through. I'm going to start with the purchase agreement. Let's see what the listing price on this house is $935. Okay. I'm going to make sure I get this dated. Okay. I know this is real. In Brian's stuff, new construction is always variable. He might not include any of this. All right. So let's just keep it easy and say, for this particular deal, nothing is included, but just know that in this part, for Michigan purchase agreements, you need to write things that are included. If there were exclusions, please write them here, like, chandelier above dining room table, okay? So put your exclusions there. If there are any, this is new construction. There are no exclusions. Let's just say we're giving Brian Almov, great builder, exactly what he wants. So that you can see how I actually do this. If I just wrote a cash sale, this would be a very simple document. But let's do it financed, okay? We're going to say it's a conventional mortgage. We're going to say that my buyer is getting an 80% mortgage. They're putting down 20% personally. This number right here said that they're going to apply for a mortgage at owner's own expense within X calendar days. I always match that up with the inspection period. Inspection period is going to be a little different here on new construction, so let's just write 5. Let's say this home is going to be done in 30 days, so we have a standard close timeline. This means a mortgage commitment is going to be furnished or delivered to all parties within 30 days. Let's move on to the next part. Earnest money deposit. I'm an EXP agent. EXP does not hold EMDs, and neither do I. Neither should you, probably, likely. I don't handle EMDs at all. I don't want the liability associated with being the person responsible for holding or turning that in, and I don't think you should either. So I don't take any money in the form of a check, money order, cashier's check, or certified funds. What I do is I put my EMD right here. Put $10,000 shall be tendered within, in the state of Michigan, it's required to be turned in within 2 days. Now I know the sum total between these two is still $10,000. For me, my favorite title company, First Centennial Title, are going to be the people who receive it. Okay, so there's no signatures for me on my purchase agreement right here, because I'm not asking First Centennial to sign this every time, right? I'm just telling people First Centennial Title is going to be the person holding and receiving this EMD. Close date, remember we said 30 days, so there's 7, 14, 21, 28. Let's make it clean. Friday, January 27th. New construction, so it's at closing, okay? If this was a pre-existing home, I could say by noon, however many days they need, whatever you want. If there is an amount there, you could guess right. Okay, so let's just say this is pre-existing. They need 31 days occupancy for whatever reason. I would write that they're paying 1/30th PITI, which is principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. This is the exact cost my buyer is going to be carrying for the seller to live there. So it's saying I'm paying 1/30th of the monthly principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. It means they're paying whatever it costs for me to own this on a daily rate, okay? Let's go back to our original example. Sticking with the new construction plan here. Again, if you had occupancy, you'd have to, at least in Michigan on this purchase agreement, you'd have to say who the keys are surrendered to. I always make the keys surrendered to the buyer, okay? Sewer and water charges, I always do it for possession. That doesn't change, right? Because sometimes people have possession post-close. If they get possession at close, doesn't change. Okay, in Michigan, we need to receive a seller's disclosure. Brian, the builder, I know, and he's going to provide a disclosure. Next thing, in Michigan, we need lead-based paint. I think this is probably across the board in the U.S. So you're going to need to receive, I'm going to say I received the lead-based paint disclosure. This house was built after 1978, so there can't be any lead-based paint issues in here. So I'm going to waive the right to a lead-based paint inspection, okay? If this was a house built before 1978, then I could write, that this is contingent on lead-based paint inspection. I match the same date up to however many days I have for my inspection, whatever it is. Maybe it's 7 here, okay? For fees, I put whatever my compliance fee is in here. My compliance fee is $5.95 as of today. I'm making this offer valid until tomorrow, 11:59 p.m. Important note for you here about time limits. This is to protect your buyer. This does not require that the seller respond to you in that time frame. Make sure your buyer understands that. The seller's not obligated to do anything. They can just let this thing expire and do nothing. They could also let it expire and call you the next day and say, hey, is that offer still valid? We'd like to move forward now. All right? Just know this is protecting your buyer from being on the hook indefinitely forever. We're going to say this is a finance deal, so we're going to write that the pre-approval is also included. Flood insurance is not in a floodplain, flood risk area. If you want that, write whatever you want there. We're doing an inspection, 7-day inspection. Royal Oak has no municipal inspections, so we're good. That's it. No other terms, conditions. If you wanted other terms and conditions, feel free to have them. You can see mine real quick. Here's the information. I use the exact writing for my FYI inspections. Here's an example of an escalation clause. Here's an example of an appraisal waiver or guarantee. Oh, this is an appraisal waiver, a full-blown guarantee. And here's an example of appraisal coverage, how I've written these terms in the past, okay? So if you need to pause this video, take a screenshot, write it down, please do. Not going to add any terms here, okay? My purchase agreement is now done. What I need to do is move on to the next document. Exclusive buyer agency. I'm an EXP agent in the state of Michigan. My supervisory managing broker for the state of Michigan is Christy Rice, so I need to put that. I need to put Joe's phone number. Okay, I need to put Joe's email address. Joe Schmo. All right, let's make it official. There we go. Okay, cool. At EXP, and for you, just a general note, I think you should actually have an identifying phone number and email address on here. So there's some, like, if God forbid something happens and you're in the hospital and somebody from your brokerage needs to get a hold of this client, or if for whatever reason this client decides to dispute the exclusive buyer agency after you're under contract, then you should have something here which identifies them other than their name. Remember, all my exclusive buyer agencies historically have been for 6 months. So whatever that is. Okay, great. If you're an EXP agent, you need to disclose your compliance fee or you will not get it. Let's move along. I'm the buyer's agent. I work for EXP, which has 88,000 agents in 24 countries as of today, approximately. So that means I am the designated agent from EXP, right? I am the one agent, I'm the broker assigned to this specific file of the 88,000. I am the dude designated for the job, okay? I'm going to hit licensee. I am the selling agent. It'll pre-populate. My buyer does not have a relationship with anybody else, okay? So Joe Schmo. Now it gets easy. We're going to fly through affiliated business disclosure. This document for EXP agents just says that EXP has monetary relationships with a title and a mortgage company. We're not utilizing either, but it has to be legally disclosed. Wire fraud document is wildly important. This basically states that anytime the buyer is requested to send a wire, they need to call me as the agent and the title company directly, personally, to confirm that that wire is actually needed, because wire fraud is real. I've never had this happen to any clients, but my title company has had it happen to clients for files that they've processed. So just make sure that they are aware that they need to confirm wires with you and the title company, as well as the wiring information, the account and routing number before they send anything at all, okay? That is how I write an offer. Again, for purchasers, at least in the state of Michigan, there'd be a seller's disclosure here in a lead-based paint that my buyer would need to review, initial, and put their signatures on stating that they have looked at those documents. That's it. Best of luck. Congrats if you're writing an offer. That's exciting.